So what we're going to do is we're going to divide the top by 6, and we're going to divide the bottom by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 36 divided by 6 is, 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 36 divided by 6 is 6. Now, because that was the greatest common factor of all three, it's not necessarily the greatest common factor of 18 and 36. So what we did was we divided the top and bottom by the same thing. Just like when you created equivalent fractions with LCM, you multiply the top and bottom by the same thing. This is just the opposite. Now we can see though, after dividing by 6 on the top and bottom, these still share a factor. So we need to keep going. So now we need to say, what's a common factor of 3 and 6? And we could see that that's 3. So we're going to divide the top by 3, and we're going to divide the bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 18 over 36 is the same as 1/2. Now we can actually use simplifying to find GCF. Since I divided by 6, and then I divided by 3, if I had thought of the greatest common factor right away, I would have divided by 18. So 18 is the GCF of those two numbers. Let's look at the next one. 18 and 60. I'm going to try to guess what I think is the largest number that goes into both. And I know 9 doesn't go into 60, so I'm thinking 6. So again, let's divide what I think is GCF. Divide by 6, divide by 6. Let's find out. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 60 divided by 6 is 10. Do 3 and 10 have any other common factors? No. So this is our simplest form. If you change this to a decimal, you would get 0.3. If you change this to a decimal, you would get 0.3. So you can see that they are, in fact, still equal. Likewise here, if we do 18 divided by 36, we're going to get 5/10, or 0.5. And if we do 1 divided by 2, we'll get 0.5. That's how you can make sure that you simplified correctly. Do they equal the same decimal? All right, let's try 36 and 60. 18 goes into 36, but not 60. 36 is divisible by 9, but 60 is not. I think they're both divisible by 6, so let's try that. So we're going to divide by 6, divide by 6. Whatever I do to one, I do to the other. 60 divided by 6 is 10. 36 divided by 6 is 6. Now you can see that this is not simplest form yet, because 6 and 10 also have a common factor. I can divide them both by 2. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll divide by 2, and I'm going to get 3 over 5. Now 3 and 5, the numerator and denominator, have no more common factors. So now I know I'm done. So clearly 6 was not the greatest common factor. So since I divided by 6 and then I divided by 12, if I had thought of the GCF right away, I would have divided them both by 12. Dividing by 6 and dividing by 2 is the same as dividing by 12. So the GCF of these two was actually 12. So it's not that we can't divide more than once, but if you use the greatest common factor, then you'll only have to divide once instead of 2 times. So I'm going to go ahead and have you pause. I want you to try to simplify the other fractions. If you can do it once, great. If it takes you 2 times, that's okay too. And then for these bottom 3, I want you to see if you can use your simplifying to help you come up with what the greatest common factor is. So go ahead and pause and unpause when you're ready to check your answers. All right, let's just check your answers quick before we wrap up for today. So for 16 and 36, I tried dividing the top and bottom by 4. So 16 divided by 4 was 4, 36 divided by 4 was 9. 4 and 9 have no more common factors, so I know that I am done, and this is in simplest form. That's what we call it, simplest form. So I divided the top and bottom by 4, so my GCF is 4. Here I tried dividing by 5 first, the top and bottom, and I got 4/10. But I noticed that 4 and 10 have a common factor of 2, so I have to keep going. So we're going to divide the top and bottom by 2, and then I get 2/5. So you should circle 2/5. That is simplest form. 2 and 5 have no more common factors. Now since I divided by 5 and then divided by 2, I also could have just divided by 10. I could have gone straight from 50 divided by 10 is 5, 20 divided by 10 is 2. So my GCF would be 10 of 20 and 50. 14 and 21, I decided to divide them both by 7. That was a common factor that I thought was the greatest. And sure enough, I got 2 over 3. 2 and 3 have no more common factors, so I know that this is my GCF. All right, so that's another strategy to find GCF. You can use simplifying fractions, and we can use GCF to simplify fractions. So that's your lesson for today. Good luck in class. Don't forget to take your Google quiz right away and do about 5 minutes of IXL GCF computer practice before you go to class. Have a great day.